Okay. Mr. DiAugustino is going to be the individual who runs the meeting tonight. He's the vice chairman presently of the zoning hearing board. We lost a member due to attrition last month. A new member is going to be appointed next month. So we have 4 members of the zoning hearing board out of 5 here. We have 1 on TV and 3 here in present. With that, let's all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sharon, roll call.
Mr. DiAugustino?
Here.
Mrs. Wilkins?
Here.
Mr. Gatos?
Here.
Mr. Hutchison?
Here.
Mr. Dice?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum. On the agenda, it has a place for reorganization. Council has not appointed a new replacement for the representative that we lost last month, so reorganization will be put off until next month pending council's action to fill that vacancy. With that being said, can we get a motion to approve the minutes of the last meeting?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the motion is passed, so the minutes have been approved. The first item on the agenda is new business, and we'll turn it over to to Paul to give us a summary of what this is about.
Okay, we have one item tonight. It's kind of lengthy, so I'll read the description, and then I believe the surveyor is going to do a presentation. So, first item, 24-1-A, Roy Musser. Applicant requests variances from section 312, special zoning districts, lot and yard requirements of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 2779 to permit the creation of 3 separate properties. Lot 1 variances include reduce the required lot area from 20,000 square feet to 4,599 square feet. Reduce the required lot width from 100.7 feet. Reduce the required lot frontage from 60 feet to 49.7 feet. Reduce the required side yard from 15 feet to 2.5 feet. Reduce the required rear yard from 40 feet to 34.8 feet. And the variances for Lot 2, reduce the required lot frontage from 60 feet to 15.2 feet. The property is located at 1876 Haymaker Road, tax parcel 861A119 in the S Conservancy zoning district. And just to give you an idea, this is an old property that has 2 existing houses on it, and the owners of the homes want to put the houses on individual lots, but because the houses are so close together, in order to do the subdivision, it creates all of these nonconformities. So, Mr. Brothers?
Just before you get started here, it's my understanding that these homes are non-conforming uses. They existed prior to the zoning ordinance.
Correct. They've been, you know how long they've been there? Over 50 years?
60s, right? Yeah. Yep, so 60 years.
So that's one criteria. 2, the fact that Monroeville has a requirement that you can't have 2 permanent structures on one lot. So this proposal will eliminate that 2 structures on one lot. 2 of the lots will have structures on them. A third is vacant ground, I understand. And that all go before council once this process is done here before the zoning hearing board. You want to state your name?
Yeah, Pete Brown owns Steel City Surveying. I'm the one who performed the survey.
You want to raise your right?
Did you sign in?
I did sign in.
Thank you.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay. And are you here with anybody else?
Mr. Musser, the owner, landowner, Roy?
All right.
Yeah, he signed in as well if you have any questions that he
Right.
needs to answer.
So Paul has explained this to us, but go ahead and give us your.
I honestly, Mr. Dice, I couldn't explain it any better than what you did.
I
It's
thought so too.
It's an existing condition. The 2 houses are both on one lot. Mr. Musser would like to sell the property in order to make it sellable. The
Yeah,
two lots need to be split.
You'd have to do this to.
We have to do this in order to.
So we all understand, if this doesn't get approved, he can't sell that. He can't sell one of the houses because it's on one lot.
You have a
It has to
copy
be, it has to be subdivided,
Okay,
just so everybody understands that.
thank you.
Just like that, flat on the table like you're looking at it. And then give Jared a second to get the camera and to see it.
Should be
Right in
a
the center.
X right in the middle there.
I think he's got it pretty good.
Got it? Is that good?
See it?
Second.
Perfect.
And then, yeah, you can
Yeah.
point out the property line.
Just point out the 3 lots.
Absolutely. So we have Lot 1, which is the existing residence of 1876A.
That's the one that has all the variances.
That's mainly the yep. Lot 2, which has to have a front variance because of the way it sits close to the other adjoining house, but that's Lot 2, it's 876B. And then Lot 3 only, or Parcel A only becomes part of that because in the deed, there are 2 separate parcels. There's a Parcel 1 that we of, and there's a Parcel 2 that we carve Parcel A out of.
Okay.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be making A, so that's why A is happening. So those are the 3 lots.
And
Okay.
access for A is off the street below to the south.
Correct, yes, so there is an existing gravel drive coming off Second Street, which provides access to A. There is a hillside between Lot 1 and Parcel A, which makes it highly unlikely to get access up to Lot 1. And then there is an existing easement in Mr. Muster's deed that provides right-of-way to access these lots from Haymaker Road.
For all 3 lots.
Yes, for the whole deed, that's correct.
So that's a recorded document that sets forth.
That's his recorded deed that has that,
Okay.
correct.
All right.
So in House B right now, is there current people living in that home now? They're both empty?
Okay, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And if you can see L4 to L5, those 2 lines, that's where the existing concrete driveway sits that leads to 1876B. So that becomes the logical place to put the line because that person needs to have a car width to get into the garage. So that's why there's such a small side yard setback, because that existing lot would be into that driveway.
Are there any other questions by the board members? I mean, I understand that this is almost a necessity in order to sell the property.
Absolutely.
Okay, hearing none. Do you want to call any other witnesses?
Mr. Buster, you want to come up and just, yeah.
I mean, if all he's going to do is get up and tell him his name, we don't need that.
No, I was just going to have him talk about why he decided to do this, if you need to know that.
Sometimes less is more.
Perfect.
I
We'll go sit
wouldn't-
down.
I wouldn't get into any details. I think you've said it the way it should be said. I notice there are other people in the audience. Does anybody want to offer any testimony in this matter? Have you signed in?
Yes, I am.
You want to state your name?
My name is Joseph Murphy. I live at 1876 Haymaker Road,
Spell your last name.
Murphy.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Okay.
This property has been in the Musser family since his grandfather bought it in 1928 and built the house. This house here was built on top of an existing garage in the 1970s,
Okay.
not in the 1950s. What I want to address is the access off of Haymaker Road across my property driveway. You're traveling at least 160 to 70 feet through my property to access his property. And according to the documents that I have found, I am to grant that access as long as a heir to the original owner owns the land. Once that happens that there's not an owner, or an heir, then I believe that I don't need to
Well, that's
provide,
not, okay.
excuse me, access. And that's what my concern is.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, we do have a lot of other things, but that would take up more time than the 5 minutes I've allotted. But
Okay.
it does say in my indenture and other documents that I found on the on the website at Allegheny County, to have and to hold the same unto for the use of the said parties of the second part, their heirs and assigns forever. That, they're talking about the heirs of Max, his father, and Henrietta, his grandmother, who was the original owner. If there are no heirs to that property, I'm claiming that I don't have to provide them access from Haymaker Road.
This isn't the proper forum to argue about that.
Okay, well, I didn't know that, because that's my concern.
Let me say to you, you certainly will have an opportunity at some future date to make an argument in front of some judge if that becomes an issue. I want you to understand, though, heirs, signs are two different things. And it appears from what you read, the heirs and assigns are going to have a right to that land, or right to use the right-of-way. I'm not arguing the case for you. I'm just saying to you, somewhere along the way, you'll have that argument if you choose to make it at some future date, if and when he ever sells it. Right now, he owns it, so it's not before us. And it wouldn't be before us anyway at that point. It's up to somebody to quiet the title, and that means going to a judge.
Is the right-of-way owned by him?
He has a right as an heir, and if he assigns it to somebody,
No, I'm sorry, sir.
I'm not going to argue.
I know, but my interpretation is
That's
that
fine.
the assignee,
That's what makes little green apples.
his assignee, but the assignees of the original owners.
Well, that's how you're going to argue it to a judge. But that's not before us tonight.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Thank you for hearing me.
Not a problem. Anyone else care to make any comments? Okay. Being none, it's now to you to decide whether or not you want to approve or disapprove this.
At this time, we have a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so the two lots, 1 and 2, have been granted variances as per the descriptions that have been given to us and the report and decision as granted. And there's only one more motion needed, and that's to adjourn.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Sign. Is there a motion?
second.
Second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. This meeting's adjourned.
Motion being adjourned.